Hello, everybody, and welcome to WeTalkNow. This is a caller-driven Runescape advice show, and today I'm going to be playing Runescape. I was actually playing Runescape in the first episode, but this time you're going to be able to see it because we have a new desk ornament. That's right, I am referring to the Neve statue. I'm referring to the Neve statue. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, but enough stupid jokes, all right? Because we have someone in the voice chat waiting for us, and he needs our help. All right? So I know that I see you in the Discord there. So I don't want to surprise you. I'm sure you're listening. So I have to decide how I'm going to say your name. I'm just going to say Hudson, okay? All right, are you ready? Hudson is joining us right now. Thanks for being on the show. Hudson, what is on your mind? I currently can't hear you, and I'm wondering if we're having an issue with that. Let's see. No, I can't think of anything on my end. Hey, could I have a mod hop into Discord? Oh, I'm not in the voice chat! Hudson, I'm gonna run it back. And I'm gonna give you another introduction because that was on my end. I wasn't even in the voice channel. Alright, Hudson. Hudson is joining us today, and I thank you so much for being here. Hudson, what's on your mind, man? I probably got him all scared. He probably unplugged his mic, like, looking for, like, what the problem was, and I wasn't even in the channel. I can't hear you right now, Malhood. Okay, Leva, what's up? I can hear you a little bit, Leva.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks for testing that, then.
Okay.
Malhood, keep working on it, I guess. In the meantime, I'm going to be able to get some awesome thieving experience. Well, okay, so WeTalkNow listeners, currently, Malhood, just let me know in the chat when you want to try again, and we'll do it at that point. If there's anyone with any question at all, and by the way, I mean, I call it a RuneScape advice show, but literally, just ask anything that you think I could help you with. For example, I mean, I'm a 27-year-old guy. I manage my own budget. I like personal finance. I'm a video editor. I started my own business, and I've been successful in that arena. I'm a YouTuber with, very small amounts of success, but, bigger than others. So I'm interested in a lot of things, and I'm willing to talk about whatever we want. As long as you're brave enough to ask. We also are now accepting text-submitted questions. And there is a text channel for it. Wrong button. But in the meantime, we're chilling. If it doesn't work again, I can send a text question. Okay. Profile picture is showing you're talking again. Okay, I'm sure it's going to work this time. All right, let's try it. All right, everybody, we've got Hudson joining us today, and thank you so much for being here. Hudson, what's up, man? No! I can't hear you. But that's okay. We've got the backup option. Oh, shoot. I waited too long and my thug despawned here. Oh. Do you guys ever actually use the lure option for these guys? Because I hid my attack option. And I assume it's a little annoying to lure. Test, Hudson. I dragged you into the same one as me before for the test earlier, and yeah, it didn't work. Didn't work. That's all good, man. Okay, we'll take a different avenue then. Okay. Well. All right, welcome back to We Talk Now, everybody. We have a question here from Billy Jim. And Billy Jim actually is writing into the show, so I'm going to read his question here. What are your thoughts on the ranged equipment rebalancing proposal? Okay, so perhaps it's no secret that I actually haven't been playing the game for, a couple of months now. But I have been keeping up with the rebalancing mod post. I think it's really, really cool what their goal is. I often look at these updates and these suggestions that they have for how they should bring the game forward, and I'm really enjoying the philosophy behind this one. And I think that they actually present themselves very, very well in the blog. So what's the philosophy behind it? They don't want the blowpipe to be the go-to option for everything. And that's not quite just the blowpipe. Twisted bow is sometimes the best for a lot of other things as well. And I just realized that blackjacking takes a decent amount of focus. Okay. It's a really, really good design. And, no. So I have a video coming out in the not too distant future, pending trademark, that talks about the Slayer, the moment in Slayer that tests your knowledge. And it's one of the reasons why Slayer is the community's favorite skill. Slayer is really unique in that it does a really, really good thing in that it shows your progression very naturally in the fact that you have all these different monsters that you have to fight. All these different monsters take different strategies. And so if you're me, you're constantly going to YouTube and being like, okay, what's the best way to kill gargoyles and different things like that? What's the best equipment to use? After you do a few tasks in a row and you meet the same ones over and over again, you remember, oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing for this. And so you don't have to go to the guide. And maybe you click on your items a little bit faster and get prepared. It's really, really cool to have different strategies for different monsters. When it comes to things that you need to use range on, it's kind of stale. Get your blowpipe. Get your twisted bow out, and it's all over. The biggest problem with the triangle is that range is overpowered in a lot of ways. That's why the twisted bow is like, a billion GP right now. It's not the overpowered for every single thing. I mean, obviously there are certain pieces of content that are specifically designed to use these new items that have come out, like the scythe and stuff like that. but generally the highest DPS in the whole game comes from the blowpipe and the twisted bow. So I really, really love the philosophy of, hey, let's do something about this and rebalance it. I've always thought that the blowpipe was awkwardly strong. It's not cool how strong the blowpipe has always been. So I absolutely adore that these things are finally happening. The fact that the type of bolt that you use is extremely important. And it's not just the blowpipe that just blows everything out of the water and just like destroys everything. I think it's really, really, really awesome that the bolt choice matters, because I mean, adamant bolts in particular, they're so cheap for the amount of damage that they do that it's always been crazy. The solution that I had come up with in my mind before I knew Jagex was even working on a rebalance at all was, don't even let us use... Oh, I meant to say darts this entire time. Sorry. The solution that I had come up with in my mind before I knew that they were working on a rebalance at all was, don't even let us use adamant in the blowpipe at all. Force us to either use, rune or anything better. And that was the solution. I was like, Addy's just like too plentiful, too cheap, too easy to produce and make that it's the only thing that I use in my blowpipe, and I've got no complaints because the DPS is still amazing. So I think what they've done is even better. That they were willing to put in the work to make the numbers really make sense, to make each of the dart ranks like matter a ton. I think it's good that there's going to be other options other than just using the blowpipe or a bow to make a crossbow viable again. What other things? What other pieces of equipment like are they suggesting that we be able to use? Runecrafting bro, I thought you were about to blow up on here during Trailblazer. Yeah, and then I disappeared. I refuse to play Osiris until we get another league. Oh, Mike, what's up, man? Yeah, I mean, I've heard you say that. You're loud and clear. Oh, shoot, I keep messing up my blackjack. I follow a few mods on Twitter these days, and what was the one that just recently tweeted out the picture of the new bow design? Can someone, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, give me a link, because I want to show that on screen. And it's some new elven bow that has an elven name. So whenever there's elven vocabulary, pretty much I just see a string of letters that I don't know how to pronounce. So it's something that starts with an F. The rebalance kind of reminds me of... There was a post on Reddit not that long ago that suggested that we get different RNG balances for different weapons, so that every weapon wasn't obviously like worse than the scimitar. What was that one? Does anyone know what I'm talking about on that one? Ferdinand. Ooh, here it is. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Rel. Here's concepts for the new bow, and I'm blocking one of them. I'll be right here. I'm really inspired looking at these, and it's not just like we have to be careful of like, ooh, new and shiny. Obviously, this is awesome and cool. But rather, if we're looking at number one, be like, okay, so if this is going to be a very specifically meta piece of gear, we're going to have to see this all the time. So we need to be very careful what we say yes to. Is this distinctive enough from the twisted bow? These things, I think that these are like kind of crystal weaponry, right? And they definitely have the feel of it already. I like, the twist on this one. The diamond shape right here, where you're going to be holding it and where you shoot, that's kind of powerful. That's pretty cool. Obviously, these are all awesome. I think people, I saw a lot of people like voting for 4. But what would I take? Since this is old school RuneScape, I don't want to go with like straight up the flashiest one, obviously. Man, but 4 is pretty cool, and I wouldn't be too sad about any of us like of seeing any of these around like often. 1 might actually be a little bit too boring, and I would have thought that too boring was never an option, but yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with every single one of these, honestly. Even though 1 is obviously the most simplistic, and 4 has the flashiest little extra thing on it, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with any of these. Which one would I choose, though? I think currently I'm between 2 and 4. And I think I would choose 2. I think 2 is my choice. It looks too much like Crystal Bow. That's not good, though. Yeah, I'll admit that I'm super unsure of myself right now of like, what's this thing's relationship with the crystal bow? It's better. And I remember a paragraph saying like, why didn't we just make the crystal bow into this? And I don't remember their explanation. Just popping in to say, I love your style and keep up the good work. Hey, dude, thanks, man. People already can't tell Corrupted and DSim apart. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Ask the conch. Well, that's smart, actually. Conch is consistently only a yes or no option. We'll leave conch out of it for a second. For now. Maybe I'm just going to open up range rebalance so I don't look like a total idiot. And make sure that we hit all the points. Okay, so currently I opened up the... Oh, okay, yes. Yeah, okay, this is what we need. This is a really, really lengthy document, blog post. We're not going to look at every single thing on here, but let's just make sure that I... Obviously, this goes really, really deep. And here's why I probably shouldn't be answering this question. I don't have a twisted bow. I've never shot one. I have a blowpipe, and I've used it here and there, but not like not a crazy amount. I don't really know all of the inner details, and this thing gets deep. We got tons of charts and what these changes mean for the game. So what I'm choosing to do is honestly to trust their work. I haven't seen people rioting in the streets. Even if they did, I don't think it would affect me too much. I really expect the dev work on respect the dev work on this game. Oh, look at this. The proposed change compared to what it currently is. Yeah, and we got the DPS. So what's the DPS currently? You can do like 13 DPS. 12, maybe this is 11. This is 11 DPS on Lizard Shaman. It's a decent amount. What's up, Phil? Power just went out? That sucks. Unrelated, I've been playing since 2000s. After last episode, I went and tried Jet for the first time. Not too bad. Dude, congratulations. And that, oh, well, I lucked out, I guess. That is really cool. I definitely encourage that, and I'm proud of you, man. What were these two different charts, actually? So that's the blowpipe, and this is the also blowpipe. Oh, in Void. Okay. In Void and in Armadillo. Okay, that makes sense. Crystal armor, blah, blah, blah. Let me read a little bit about Ferdinand so that we know what we're talking about here. Welcome home, Emily. And since this probably isn't going to make it into the final video, let's chill. Let's chill for a second. The crystal bow won't be in a strong enough position to compete with the toxic blowpipe. What if there was another option? Okay, so it's like a new and improved crystal bow. Yep, that makes sense. And I think it's okay that it looks like it. What's the lore behind it? Oh, it comes from the gauntlet. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think it's all right. I definitely think it can't be number 1 then, because it'll look exactly like the crystal bow. What does the current crystal bow look like? A really skinny, yeah, it's a really skinny and transparent. And this one would have a little bit more flavor. It looks a little thicker. I can't tell if based on these dimensions that this is going to look like a short bow. And the crystal bow definitely looks like a long bow. Yeah, and it's just a bunch stronger than the crystal bow. Yep. And then, okay, so this is the exact paragraph that wasn't exactly in my head. So why did we opt to add a new bow rather than instead of buffing the crystal bow or crystal armor set further? We didn't feel that our previous proposal to buff the set from 30% accuracy and 15 damage to 30% and 20% damage went far enough. Sure. And it's like, if we're gonna boost it, it's insane already. So like, let's just put a new item in. Sure. Okay, so one sec. Let me get back into show gear here. So as a wrap up to what are my thoughts on the ranged rebalance, new equipment, whatever post, full support. Good job, JX. I think it's so important to have specific tools to be able to do different jobs and to not let it just be boring and have it just be 2 items. It's good. It's really good. Full support. Anyway, hey, it's WeTalkNow, everybody, and that means that not everyone can just ask text questions. Let's do a live question here. Who's got anything? Okay, honestly, if you were to ask a very, very good question, I'd be too scared to answer it, and I would fumble around, and I would answer it stupidly. It'd be bad. Okay, give me a softball question. Give me any question. Someone can think of something. And pop into Discord, and let's do it. Seize the day. Rel sent me a DM in-game and said that he has 99 fishing, but also his rank is really, really good for Iron Man, even though he is a Relikian, you know? He's a barbarian-only account. So congrats, man. All right. Joseph, you're coming on to We Talk Now, and I'm going to drag you in momentarily, just not to surprise you. Give you a second here so that even if you're watching on mobile, you'll know about this at this point. Okay, Joseph, welcome to We Talk Now. Thanks for being here. What's on your mind, Joseph?
Oh, hey, I was looking at, like, how do I get myself into RuneScape? And then possibly my friends, because, like, the thing is, we like playing games together. MMOs, you're supposed to play them together. I keep hearing a lot about, like, Group Iron Man coming up. Is this a good opportunity to start playing RuneScape with my friends?
I love that question so much, Joseph. That's really cool. Can you tell me about some of the other MMOs that you've played?
That I've played personally? I guess recently it's like more casual stuff like Sea of Thieves. And that's about it as far as MMOs go, to be honest, in the past few years.
You've hopped onto Sea of Thieves with your friends and you had a good time?
We did for a while, yeah.
And then it dried up a bit quickly. Hey, that was my experience with Sea of Thieves as well.
Indeed.
Okay, well, cool. Thanks for your question. And, yeah, let's talk about getting into RuneScape in 2021. I've had weird thoughts. No, not weird thoughts. I've definitely thought about this topic a lot in the past. When I was growing up and playing RuneScape, I used to think, oh man, I used to be that guy in the corner of the party. You know that meme? Shoot, we need to get that meme right now. And since this is going to be a YouTube video, I'm comfortable pausing the show for a while to make this meme. So join me on this journey. Okay, I'm going to look for the template. They don't know I'm template. I accidentally got a really blurry option, so I'm going back in. Did you know that if you download an image before it actually loads up, it gives you an index version that's really blurry? And I only know because I've done it so many times. I'm impatient. Actually, I didn't know that there was a thing where, like, you had to wait. Maybe if you have a better computer than me, you have no idea. Waiting to load up an image? All right. Welcome to WeSkillNow's childhood. They don't know I have 66 Fletcher, which is supposed to be a very impressive number. It wasn't exactly in this form. The real form that it took in my mind was this. Man, I wish everyone in the world played RuneScape, because then they'd be really impressed with my achievements. Here's another form that it took. I wish everyone played RuneScape and that the things that we accomplished in-game allowed us to wear certain things in real life, such as if you had 99 attack in-game, you could wear a 99 attack cape in real life. All right, I wanted to wear a cape. I'm not saying that I was a cape kid, because that's a whole different thing. Those are the people that actually wore capes in public, all right? I never wore a cape in public, but I wanted to. I wish I was cool enough. That's why when someone made a 2000scape post not that long ago for merch of hoodies that had the skill cape templates on them. Like, there's hoodies, like, there's an attack cape hoodie, and on the back it's got the attack symbol, and it's like the deep red. And I think there might have been some yellow trim on it or something. But that's why I thought those were so cool. But you should also have to prove that you have the skill cape in-game to be able to buy it. Ooh, that'd be sick. I'd love it. Anyway. Yeah, so I wanted everyone in the world to play RuneScape growing up. I thought it'd be so cool if everyone in the world shared the same thing. Now, as I got older, and I thought about how often my dad would be like, man, you know, you're on the computer a lot. You play RuneScape for quite a bit. You ever gonna not play that game for so long? And I think a lot of people relate with that experience. I was like, I'm going to play whatever I want, and it's going to be worth it, and I'm never going to regret it. Well, eventually college rolls around, and then you get into your 20s, and then you're 25, and it's like, man. At a certain point, I believe I was 19 years old, and it was around that time that Jagex released data for your RuneScape account that you were able to go and look at how many hours you had played. And if I added my accounts up, I was only 19, and I literally had over a year of playtime in RuneScape. And that was so much. That's insane. I didn't know how to better myself and go for goals and improve my real life skills. It was by some accident that I was able to get into video editing because of RuneScape, and then just like be really, really into it, so that I eventually got a job today doing that. But the point is this. As I have gotten older, my position has flipped on me wishing the whole world played RuneScape. RuneScape has brought me a lot of joy. It continues to bring me a lot of joy. But I think that's only because I have found a way to do it that is really satisfying for me, and that's using it to create content, and then also to surround myself with a community. So helping people, hanging out with people, and you guys are what's making that possible. So do I want to encourage people to play RuneScape? Not really. Not really. I think that that's kind of hurting people. Now, is it time to play this game? Let's say that you're a responsible adult and you're going to be able to handle this game. How do you do it? Let's answer that question. Because I can't answer the question, or I can't stop you from doing this if I think that, you're so irresponsible that you won't be able to handle it. I respect you enough. Oh, no. Can this guy leave? Let's turn my attack options back on. I respect you to make your own decision. So, how do you get into it? You get into RuneScape. I just realized that you can't even attack him. How does one get into RuneScape? You get into RuneScape by treating it like any other adventure. Now, there are systems in the game, and I know this by experience and seeing so many other people get into them. There's so many systems that are addictive, and maybe I wouldn't call them addictive. I'll say that they're satisfying and fun. So you can do these things and you can have a good time, especially if you have the right mindset about it. So, if you want to have the best time possible, make it a party. Get your friends together and have everyone make an account at the same time. Now, make sure that no one gets left behind, because if someone struggles through the process of creating an account and they're like the 5th dude and the 4 other people have already figured out how to make it all the way through Tutorial Island and they're having a blast killing cows together, things like that, don't let one person, don't leave them behind. Make sure everyone's included. Some people, when confronted with this question, will tell you how to be efficient. And there's a couple of branches of goals that you can have where, like, oh, here's how you make money so that you can do things that you want to do. Here's how you do quests so that you can do things that you want to do. Here's how you efficiently train skills so you can do things that you want to do. But really, I think you need to focus on filling that list up of what is it that you want to do. You have no idea what this game is. So honestly, to get that list filled up, just log in, walk around, and just kind of breathe this world. Figure out what there is in it and just kind of experiment and do what looks fun to you. There's a big obstacle in this game in that it's a remnant of an ancient day. It's a little ugly for some people. Now, I would never say that because I think it's beautiful because I've grown up with it. And I was there in RuneScape Classic. I was there when it first transformed into this 3D world of RuneScape 2. I love the distinctive style of what these characters look like. I look at my character on this screen right now, and I think he's kind of cool. Which is so weird for my wife, because she doesn't play RuneScape. And she just says, ugh, how do you play that game when there's so many pixels on the screen, when it's so ugly? But if you're in, you in, and you don't think that. So how do you get into RuneScape? Just make a party of it, get in together, and just start playing. You don't. And when it comes to Group Iron Man, if you're not in the game already and you know of this update that's coming out called Group Iron Man, you don't have to wait for it. And I recommend not waiting for it. You guys as a group will, as an inexperienced group, will already be able to have the wild adventure experience together, even without that extra game mode added on top of it. Us RuneScape junkies, we're really, really looking forward to Group Iron Man because it's going to make the game feel fresh and new. It's already going to be that for you. So get together with the boys, get into the Discord call, and have fun, have an adventure. And I really want to know how it goes, and what kind of hijinks you guys get up to. Because I think that's all I can say. Like, you guys are going to figure out how to get woodcutting experience and how to kill monsters, and it's going to be so fun if one of you is, like, digging into certain little patches here and there of, like, guys, I figured out how to craft leather bodies. Oh, how? Well, this is how. And you're going to be able to teach each other, and it's going to be awesome. So there's many layers of experiences that you can have, and you can continue to get deeper and deeper. Maybe all of you guys should try to do quests together, or just chill at some trees. And if one of you guys gets bored chopping some trees together, move on, find something else, and just play, have an adventure. All right, that's it for that question. Let's go on to something else. Thanks for asking, Joe. Okay, chat. What'd you guys say during that? Oh, you added to the question, and maybe we can ask it. Also, sorry about figuring out the question as you go along. You see me bumble around my words the whole time while answering it. No, I appreciate you hopping into the voice call and asking it at all, for sure. I actually prefer that you don't have this smooth, buttery voice that's just amazing, because you'll make me feel bad that I'm the one streaming. I've thought about that with my brother. Like, if I max and have a cape made or t-shirt or a tattoo or something, yeah, whatever you want. Could be special. Could be worth it, especially having spent that many hours on that goal. Lately, I've played only when Leagues is around, because it reminded me of the community from 06 and 07. There's a bunch of people that get excited together, and it's a good time. So excited to do Waterfall a 9th time. Yep. I want PvP within group iron groups to always be on. Why? No, that would be pretty cute, and you could troll each other and stuff. And yeah, definitely. And that just comes down to, like, if devs allow you the option to do things, then you can make your own fun, and that's fun. I hate this villager. He's killing me. Let's see if we can lure him. All right, come out here. Awesome. We got him out. Okay, Hudson. Hudson is joining us today. He's got a question. What's up, Hudson?
Hey, Brian, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Malhood. What's up, man?
Let's go. Sorry for all those technical difficulties.
It's absolutely fine. We're here, and we're just gonna live in the moment. What's on your mind?
Awesome. So I kind of typed out the question already, just because I was having those difficulties. But so I'll just kind of be reading it out. But basically, I've just been working from home with the pandemic. And it's just been very easy training AFK skills. Like, I've just been doing combat and, like, just basically Slayer, getting those up, because they were always pretty, like, just basically behind. And so, like, right now I'm coming to that point where I'm like, I should probably start training, like, rune crafting, agility. Those are the things that I need for, like, elite diaries. But I am struggling so hard to just, like, find enjoyment in, like, those more, like, click intensive skills. And I know you have 99, and I think both of those skills. I was wondering if you had any advice on how you made it more, like, enjoyable to be training those skills, like those more click intensive skills.
Dude, I love that question. Are you asking very specifically about agility and rune crafting?
Mostly. I mean, it applies to a few, but those two are definitely the ones that I, like, immediately pop into my head.
Okay. Now give me your rune crafting level.
It's currently 66, and I just kind
Ooh.
of train it with Tears of Guthix because I don't know. Like I know I said I do AFK stuff, but I absolutely hate ZMI.
Yeah, and that's okay. You're like so many people, you know? Get all those levels with Tears of Guthix as possible done. Okay, so that's your lowest skill then, and it shows because you just don't want to train it. You've been avoiding it. What's the agility level?
Agility right now is 73, and I recently unlocked Prif, so I kind of need
Nice.
to like I like that better than the Sears Village course, but even still, like I feel like it's just a little too much work, like to just be clicking the same place for hours on end.
It is. Okay. I hear your thoughts, and thanks for presenting them. I think that I have. I'm really excited to answer these questions because look at my skills right now. Actually, I should show them on screen. Let me hop over to them. All right. So 99 in a couple of combat skills. 99 in fletching and cooking. Two of the classic easiest ones. So there's 3 combat ones, 2 of the easiest ones, and then boom, 2 of what people consider to be the hardest ones: rune crafting and agility. And well, thanks for noticing. Yeah, I've got 99 in those. It's true. But none of my other skills are very impressive. So how does one go about training these? Well, I've been in the same shoes as you. I have at times hated them, and then I figured out how to love them. So let me try to share that with you. This is also in a video that is coming soon on this channel. It's a video that I'm really excited about where I compare Slayer and runecrafting and show why the community hates one and loves the other. What was it about their design that made the people react this way? Now, previously, I've talked on this stream about how I managed to do quests, and it was a mindset change. I've always been skill cape oriented, and so doing quests felt terrible, where I had to do a list of things the whole time I was not gaining experience. So what did I do about it? I got a pile of alks, and I walked around, and as I was walking between step and crossing the map, just waiting to do the next step, I would be alking the whole way. It was really, really satisfying to get magic experience the whole time. Well, guess what? Agility plus alking is awesome. I love it. And I think it's the exact same transformation that I made to finally be able to do agility. The first time, the first real bump that I made into agility was this. Agility alking on Sears course. So definitely don't do Sears unless you've got the Kandarin hard done, obviously. If it's not obvious to you, and that's okay, you don't have to know everything about the game. Kandarin hard unlocks a really good teleport that increases your agility per hour significantly. It lets you teleport right in front of Sears Bank, which is the start of the agility course. So, I recommend agility alking. Now, you are talking about working from home. And being able to successfully do AFK things was awesome for you. I just said do something that makes it more click intensive. So let me take the other side now. When it comes to agility, I changed my mindset. No. Let me take a different path here. One of my biggest motivating factors to get 99 runecrafting, because runecrafting came first, was this. Twisted League is done, and I've made a bunch of YouTube videos, but my RuneScape account sucks. Everyone, you know, can see it's like so trash. I need to do something cool. I know what I'll do. I'll get the rarest skill cape in the game. So I got to work. And I did a few different methods. And eventually I found what worked for me. But I'm talking about agility right now. The same thing was true for agility. I was really inspired to do agility because it was the second rarest skill cape in the game at the time. It might have changed at this point. But while you're working on agility, let it be known that every time you train agility, you're gaining a lot of ranks and you're becoming better than a lot of people. Doing hard things, and this is true in life, whenever you do hard things, you're passing by so many people that weren't willing to do those hard things. That, for me, is really motivating. So let that be a foundation for you to train, you know, these hard skills of agility and rune crafting. It's awesome. My mindset when it came to AFK and agility, which almost seems like an oxymoron. Wait a minute. AFK, this thing that forces you to click every 2 to 5 seconds? Yeah, AFK it. Consider it AFK. If you're working on a document on one screen, and let's say that you have the luxury that I have, I've got 2 monitors in front of me, hoping to make it 3 sometime, but that's besides the point. Work on your document. Oh, my character stopped moving? Click on it occasionally. And then keep working. I don't know if that's the path that you want to take. It seems like that's what you've been doing already. You've been AFKing Slayer, which, you know, still sometimes takes your attention off of the initial screen so that you can look at it and readjust. But I consider agility to be about as AFK. Now, it's going to make your experience rate suffer, but that's okay. It really is. Agility is going to be somewhat of a slow experience situation. But as long as you're gaining it, you know, you're going to eventually hit your goal. You will. It's really going to happen. And that's okay. So pretend that it's AFK, consider it AFK, convince yourself that it is AFK, and it's going to be okay. You have so many options available to you in high level agility that as you get higher and higher, it becomes even more fun. Seriously. It's awesome. You've unlocked Prif, so you can start doing that one. I ended up not enjoying Prif that much, but just keep hopping around to the different courses until you find one that really clicks. And even when you do find one that clicks, consider hopping around again and again until you find one that really clicks. As I was working to 99, I found myself hopping between Sepulchre and Brimhaven and Arty Rooftops often. Prif eventually became my least favorite, and I don't really know why. I think some of the rope balances just felt like they took too long in my mind, and I wanted them to take a little bit less time. Sepulchre was my absolute favorite active one, but, you know, don't do it until you get to floor 5. And once you do get that level, watch a guide on it quick and then just practice. Sepulchre is so fun that one of the last times that I played RuneScape, I just logged in, you know, wasn't talking to anyone, wasn't even like distracted by something else, and I just ran more Sepulchre even at 99 agility. It was great. I loved it. Right now, I'm sorry. This is a totally unrelated. I'm doing blackjacking and I'm eating pizzas. Do I drop my half pizzas on the ground and unnote more pizza. I don't even think I was supposed to bring pizza here. I don't remember what the deal with this was, or if I was supposed to do wines instead. Regardless. Okay, so, I mean, that's my recommendation with agility. It's a general principle that says train your mind to be successful in what you're doing. And the answers are going to shift a little bit every time. But for agility, the answer for me was to convince myself that it still was AFK. With rune crafting, I was training rune crafting and I was falling prey to the community. The community says that rune crafting is absolutely the most boring skill. It's horrible. There's so many clicks. It honestly does make sense because compared to every other skill, you know, there's a lot of menuing. There is a lot of active clicking to get your character to walk all the way to the altar every time. The menuing's really, really intense because you have to open up the bank, fill your essence pouches, and get moving again. Fast, fast, fast. You can be tick perfect and it gets crazy. Now, I have a rune crafting cape on my back right now, and I'll tell you that I never once did lava runes. If you're in the position to do lava runes, it's all right. You know, go ahead and do it. Whatever. I took a more passive route, but I didn't find out about what was going to make me successful in my journey to 99 rune crafting until Twisted League came out. Twisted League brought me on this giant tour of Zaya, and suddenly I learned things that all UIMs already knew. These guys that were training their runecrafting using library, I thought it was strictly, you know, an Iron Man or a UIM method because they weren't able to buy their pure essence, so clearly they needed to come up with a different way. Well, in the days leading up to Twisted League, I was gritting my teeth, forcing myself to go to ZMI and to get one runecrafting level a day. And I hated it. But I don't remember the exact numbers, but I was probably, you know, I probably went from like level 57 to 64, getting one level a day. And it was slowly working, and I was getting there. And I hated it. So Twisted League was this welcome relief to explore Zaya. Well, I didn't realize that that tour was going to make me fall in love with Zaya and change my life regarding runecrafting forever. When Twisted League was over, I made the decision to get 99 runecrafting. And to do that, I tried ZMI again. I couldn't do it. I tried runecrafting again. I went to the library. And then I stayed there until I was 77, until I was blood rune ready. And you know, everyone says level 77 is the promised land in runecrafting. It really is. Honestly, it's all good. Because it comes with the same mindset of convince yourself what you're doing is AFK. And it's a lot easier. Like, the psychological advantages of blood runecrafting and soul runecrafting are absolutely incredible on so many levels. And I go into this deeper in a video that's coming out on the channel sometime soon. Because it forces you to, like, pretend that you're playing, training woodcutting, basically. When you go to the dense rune essence rocks. And you just sit there in AFK. It's a wonderful experience. It's really good. So the goal is just to get yourself to 77 and do it as fast as possible. For me, I brought stamina potions to the library. I turned on the library RuneLight plugin, which I believe is 100% necessary. Some people will say, well, hey, technically you can do it without the plugin. But for the purposes here, we're trying to make it more satisfying than ZMI. use the plugin. It's so fun. You'll find your own methods to do it. I really, really enjoyed doing library. And I could do it more. You know, if Twisted League came out again, I would totally do it again. I loved it. So the goal, get yourself to 77 runecrafting ASAP. I personally did library. Some people are the special type of people that are able to do ZMI. Some people are very rich and they hire people to run Essence to them when they do lavas. That wasn't me. I don't think it would be very satisfying. I would find it stressful to be spending that much money personally. But if you've got the resources, you know, that's fine too. So yeah, find out, experiment with library. I loved it. And go for it. Convince yourself that you're doing things that are AFK, because in a certain sense you are. And it's not necessarily lying. But I convinced myself that during the Blood Runes section, actually this applies to library too, but collecting a bunch of resources and then trading them in for experience all at once, very satisfying. And that's how I had success with it. And then with agility, I pretty much just like switched which course I was doing pretty often. If I wanted to AFK, I was definitely on the RD rooftops. I edited a lot of videos for clients while I was training agility on the RD rooftops. And if I had time to play on my own and I wanted to focus on it, I went over to Sepulchre and I had an amazing time doing that. And actually, I spent quite a decent amount of time, probably getting about 1,400 or so tickets at Brimhaven as well. And I found myself falling in love with getting deeper and deeper into the strategy of getting tickets, efficiently, because that became AFK as well. Even though you have to get a ticket every single minute, if you get a ticket in 20 seconds, you have a 40 full seconds just to wait. Technically, yes, you could be clicking the entire time at Brimhaven to maximize your experience rate, but just keep it AFK. You'll make it, and it'll be okay. Okay, I hope that helped, and I know it was long-winded, but I actually do get really excited when thinking about training runecrafting and agility, and I hope it shows. Okay, thanks for the question. Okay, what did you guys say? If anyone else wants to ask a question that isn't a text-based question, which is okay to do, hop in the voice chat while I'm catching up on this chat here. My advice for runecrafting, race someone else. I'm glad that you brought that up, because I forgot to say that. I raced Leva to 99 runecrafting. And that was a fun time. And the way that we finished it off was we actually just had a party together and finished at the same time. It was actually really satisfying and cool. I'm going to do unnote pizzas for the first time. Leva, did you end up having to wait for me for a long time to get 99? To be honest, runecrafting and agility are very similar gameplay loops. I agree. Similar gameplay loops that people hate. Both of them. DL came back. Agility boosts I needed. Hallowed Sepulchre and Staminas. Why did you need Staminas to do Sepulchre or what? Yeah, Sepulchre was so awesome. I loved it. I thought it was great. Just getting some pizzas here. I don't like AFK in runecrafting or agility. I get like 15k experience an hour if I do something on the side. I think I beat that a little bit. But yeah, you do have to know thyself. Or do you, and then also know yourself on like, is it responsible to be playing RuneScape on the side while doing work? Or could I do my work faster or better if I just focused on it? Honestly, usually the answer is yes. Yeah, for sure. I guess efficiency doesn't really matter at the end of the day if I'm just going to go for the levels over time. Oh, Sepulchre does beat at 82. Okay, cool. Sarah Brews, if you're nuts, but are just doing blackjacking. Yeah, Sarah Brews, and then have it turned off so that you don't automatically smash your vials. ZMI is better than Bloods? Wow, Dio. My Bloods experience per hour is horrible. Yeah, is ZMI technically better experience? I really hated banking, and Bloods took banking out of the equation entirely. Lavas is like the most banking heavy. ZMI's pretty casual with it, and Bloods just takes banking out completely. Lavas can be fun to try and figure out the method, but I can't imagine doing it for hours and hours. I need more lavas on my iron again. 77 is worst. You hated Bloods? Web plugin like we OGs used to do. Oh, I see. Why would anyone willingly punish themselves by turning that off? The library plugin? Ugh. Thanks, Brian. I remember library from Twisted League 2 wasn't bad at all. Just got to put the hours in. Yes. It definitely does take some hours, but I enjoyed the library. I had to do quite a bit during Twisted, and then I don't even remember how it compared to the amount I did afterwards to get to 77, but after I hit 27, it all felt worth it, and the ride there wasn't too bad either. Then again, I'm saying that from the perspective of someone who already has a runecrafting cape, so once you're done with things, they always feel not as painful as when you're actually going through them. Yes, the Varrock pub, the Blue Moon Inn, was our double 99 runecrafting party. Do you know what Melvor Idol is? Absolutely. Played a decent amount of Melvor. Yeah, you waited for 3 weeks. Need Marks of Grace to raid on an iron. Gotcha. I only do stuff with at least 3 to 4 minutes AFK times during productive tasks like Karambwan and Fish Barrel and Redwoods. Yep. ZMI by far more experience per hour over Bloods, but at ZMI I don't go AFK for 5 minutes as well. Unfortunately, I need to do Bloods to 99 on my iron. Gotcha. Yep. You're forced to do certain things because you need those resources. Okay. Now, I see Scott in the chat here, so Scott's going to ask another question. And I'm excited for it. Thanks so much for indulging me in this, guys. I know I'm not super smart or anything, but you guys are, providing me with questions, and it's been fun for me. So, without further ado, Scott is joining us right now. I usually call you Scotia. But what's up, man? What's on your mind? Thanks for joining. Oh, Super Scotia! He might have gone AFK here.
Okay.
XW!
Thanks for subscribing, man. Alright.
Poke. Oh, shucks. How do I get this guy into this room? He was in the other channel. I dragged him in. Okay. I believe he hopped back and forth to signal to me that he is here. So I'm going to try again, all right? 1 second after I reset the blackjack. Okay, here we are on WeTalkNow, and Super Scotia's got a question. Hey, what's up, Scott? What's up? Shoot, what's on your mind, man? Ooh, Scott, I don't think your mic is working.
Okay.
Oh, Phil, thanks, man.
Subscribing, man. All right.
Yay.
I appreciate you using your Prime on me, man. Scott, if you're here, just let me know in Twitch chat sometime whenever you want to try again. In the meantime, I think I will take a text question as soon as I'm caught up on chat. Nice. All right. We podcast now. Mix, this is the RuneScape Advice Show. All right, cool. Okay, so Fire. Oh, to ask a question, Mix, hop into the Discord voice chat. Fire's got a question here, and he's writing into the show. He couldn't be here to ask this in voice, but Fire asks this: what are your thoughts on skull tricking? Should it be looked down upon? Is it a form of scamming? Should Jagex do something about it? And if so, what should they do? Or do you feel if you step into the wild, all is fair game? That's a super interesting question, and I think it has to do with, a bigger issue of, like, how do you do PvP right in an MMO? It feels like the community has gone through waves where when everyone was new to PvP and technically they gave us the ability to fight each other and fight our friends and interact with people, that was really fun. But then as people understood systems a little bit better, PvP got like really annoying. And suddenly everyone started to do every single little toxic trick in the book to just get a leg up on each other and just try to get loot. So it feels like, really, really early it used to be, yay, let's have a party, let's fight each other. And then it slowly turned into, I'm better than you and I can take your money and I'm doing this for a GP per hour kind of activity. So then it landed on the devs. What are you going to do to fix this? How do you make it fair? Blah, blah, blah. So what's my opinion on skull tricking? Man, it kind of sucks. It's okay. Everyone that's in the wilderness has their own philosophies on how to play the game. Some people are totally fine with tricking people, but I don't want to be that person. I wouldn't want to go into the wilderness, pretend that I am risking items and lying about it, so that when I attack or when I get someone to attack me, oh, you're now risking more than you wanted to. You made a mistake because I tricked you into it. It's literally a lie. And I don't like that. I think that shows, some low character. When it comes to making content, I forgive everyone on YouTube. I don't know who specifically does all the skull trick videos. Is it Sir Pugger or not? But his YouTube content, it's awesome YouTube content, man. I'll watch it all day. I think it's so funny when he gets someone, and I think it's really good content. But if you're just like straight up in the wilderness skull tricking people, you're just like out there trying to get GP per hour. I don't think that's very cool. It's not very fun. So should Jagex fix it? Yeah, but I think that the mechanics actually get a little bit deep on some of those skull tricks, so that I wouldn't be able to intelligently suggest a fix. What I want is for everyone to get together to play the game in a way where no one's lying to each other and they can just fight and have a good time. But the moment that risk and fighting comes into it, people get mad at each other and people want to hurt each other and stuff. And that's just the way it's going to be. not everyone's going to play this game for the fun, you know, and for the good experience. And so we're going to have to deal with that. It's going to be up to Jagex to somehow find a way to fix skull tricking. It's weird because it's a difficult problem, because the moment that they fix skull tricking, it'll if they don't do it right, it'll present an opportunity for the opposite problem to happen, where you can like initiate a fight without sculling up, and people will use that to their advantage, right? So it's difficult. I don't have a mechanical solution for it, but this question in this forum says, do you look down upon, or should it be looked down upon? You don't have to judge people. You don't have to say that you're obviously better because you've never skull tricked someone. You can just be like, well, I guess here's my reaction. I guess I am looking down on them, but you can do it with some grace, though. Like, you understand, they've got some motivation to do this thing, and you get it. It's too bad. If you want to look for a fair fight in the wilderness, maybe some communication needs to be involved, and look for the dopamine riddled fight that you're looking for. You know, fight a friend, I guess. It's too bad, because yeah, that is the state of the wilderness, and PvPers have been complaining for years now that PvP is dying. It makes sense. People trick each other. It's hard. It is hard. At the end of the day, before we get any fixes from Father Jagex, everything in the wilderness is fair game. Everything in the world is fair game, and if something happens to you, you're just going to have to accept it. So if you're out in the wilderness and you get skull tricked and you lose your stuff, shoot, you did take that risk on. It's never going to come to a situation where, like, if you get tricked, we're going to take that person to court or something. You lost your stuff, it was fair game. That's the world that we live in right now. So that's my view on it. Yeah, I discourage people from skull tricking. Some people will. But, you know, don't take out anything in a boat that you're not willing to lose. Don't go into the wilderness with anything that you're willing to lose as well. Guys, I'm going to catch up on chat, and then Mix has a question, and Mix will be next. PvP has become a try-hard abuse meta glitch fest, sadly. Yeah. I like the way you phrased that, and I think it was better than the way that I phrased that. Every game has a meta that eventually changes what the game is. They often don't handle high skill very well. I love that you phrased it that way. That was cool. Yeah. Early days, games are fun. Eventually, people figure things out, and then high skill in every game is like, the devs are like, oh, wait, I didn't mean for it to be that way. But people get so good that they figure these things out, and it changes the game every time. Where skull tricking, luring, and scamming has become too popular. The whole game has become try hard. It's the current age, not 2004 anymore. Yep, it's true. Yep. We're definitely in a culture of efficiency and try-harding, and, you know, and that's how people are enjoying themselves these days, and it's okay. It's just the meta that we're in right now. You can't fix PvP if it's meant to be unfair. Then it will die. Can't really do anything to fix PvP. It's such a difficult problem. Is there any way to improve it? I literally don't know. It's not PvP people hate. It's the wilderness and Becane. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Last Man Standing PvP is fine with. Everyone is fine with. Hey, I also enjoy Last Man Standing. That was definitely fun. Sometimes there was a bunch of bots and stuff. But when I found a fair fight, that was exhilarating. Wilderness is an outdated system, but you can't really fix it at this point. I think people would definitely protest if they did like some major change. It would ruin their nostalgia and everything. Pugger, it was Pugger. Torvesta did it too? Torvesta, I think you mean? And Pugger definitely does bot videos. I thought he might have done skull tricking as well. I don't know, though. Seen the new bot detector for RuneLite? No. Do I have it, or do I have to go to the store for it? Torvesta does it too? Only one per... Oh, you know what? I just recently saw a Torvesta video where he was skull tricking people, where he walked out and was pretending to alk, pretending to be, like, not paying attention to where he was, and got people to skull trick on him. It was a more obvious skull trick, but it was like an anti-rush. I don't know. OSRS is supposed to be fun? I don't know. Only one person has a good time in the wilderness, and that's the winner. Ooh. I like that thought. What can Jagex actually do to fix PvP then? I don't know. I don't know. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's impossible. Your thought of it's meant to be unfair, and that's like where the fun comes from. I respect that statement. I think that's a cool way to say that. Skull tricks discourage players from trying out the wilderness at all, so overall it's kind of a self-detrimental. Yep. Guess I'm one of the few that enjoys the wilderness as it is right now. It's in the plugin hub. Gotcha. It actually works together with Jagex. They have their own in-game clan as well, which your rank is listed to how many bans you've caused. Oh, sick. I don't like the 40 versus V1s meta. How did you type? Oh, never mind. When the entire squad has dragon spears and ancient maces, that's a rough one for sure. Yeah, and not cool at all. Pushes you to 100 blocks away. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. You think of it in terms of, was it fun for the clan to do? Then it might be a net positive. Because it was fun for this clan to do. It's an interesting balance where, like, it's fun to get together with a group of people. It's quite dirty, the method that they used, and didn't they update it in some places where that method doesn't work anymore? Does it not work in some places? Yeah, and then they get a 50k split. Like, clearly the biggest loot that they're getting is it's fun. And they're not making much money per person. Yeah. It's kind of sad that an outside source is helping Jagex with an obvious ML solution to bots, but for some reason they aren't just doing it themselves. That is interesting. Okay. All right. We're ready for the next question. Now, Mix, an old friend of the show, is joining us today on We Talk Now. Mix, how's it going, man? What's on your mind?
Hello. I'm doing pretty good.
Great.
Just work night shift, but I'm home. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're home, man. And what's your
yeah.
question? What's your deep question?
First of all is nerd. Second of all is have you thought of trying / playing a new MMORPG, like such as Final Fantasy 14?
You know, I have thought about it for a little bit, especially Final Fantasy 14, because I've seen it a lot in my social circles and like on Twitter and stuff, and you playing the game. What?
Did you hear the news?
What's the news? What's the news?
It's officially the biggest MMORPG in the world.
Seriously?
World of Warcraft, yeah, last week.
Is it based on like online players at any given
Online.
moment, or what?
Online players and trial players in the last month.
Awesome.
Because Final Fantasy is now promoting new players to play. You get the entire first base game for free, and you can level all the way to level 60. You basically, it's like the base story. You get to try it out and just see if you like it.
That's cool. What's the?
Go for it.
Do you need? Okay, so what are the costs involved? Do you need to buy like expansion packs and a membership subscription?
Yes. So it has the same kind of subscription like World of Warcraft. You have some expansion pack you need to buy.
Okay.
They are incredibly cheap though, on right now, and it's a subscription. You can have multiple characters. One character can learn all skills and like RuneScape, like.
Okay,
learn
yeah. Tell me about the
classes.
skill system. Is there a list of skills that you train to a
Yes.
higher number?
So you have something called war classes, magic classes, and like artisan classes, essentially.
Okay.
And
Oh, sick.
there's like 18 like different kind of war classes. Essentially, like you have monks, you have samurais, you have gladiators, and the mage one you have conjurers, you have white mages. You have
If you're a monk,
summoners.
can you get to level 99 everything?
Well, it's not 9 now. My max level is 80 right now, but
It's 80, okay.
you can max. Basically, your class depends on what weapon you have on. So let's say you train your monk,
Oh,
which
okay.
uses like fist weapons to level 70. You switch back to like a conjurer staff, then you'll be level 1 again until you switch back to your
Sure.
fist weapon. So essentially, you can level all classes on one character to max level. That's
So
That's it.
mix. In a room full of RuneScape players, what's the biggest like fun aspect of this different MMO of Final Fantasy 14? What's the grind like? What's the satisfying like appeal?
Okay, so the fun thing is, so when you do your first playthrough, is you kind of forced to do the main story because the game has a great lore and it wants you to play it. And so for the first character you make, which will be a fighting character, or fighting class, sorry, you when you want to progress levels, you need to follow the main story. So.
Okay.
You can switch whenever, but you will be stuck on the same progress of that story one time.
Oh, you need to like progress on one single character so that it raises like the cap of everyone else.
Basically. But yeah, it's the story is just really good, and it really promotes you to follow it. It's not like
Mhm.
World of Warcraft story. It's not like RuneScape. RuneScape doesn't really have a proper story.
Yeah, it's got like a bunch of little tiny stories that have like a lot of jokes and stuff. It doesn't take itself very seriously.
Well, here's a campaign. Not to spoil anything, but it's like you become this person called the Warrior of Light. You basically you're the world itself has a soul, right? And the soul basically summoned you into the world and to fight the evil. That's kind of cringe, but that's
No, it's all good.
essentially what it is. And you group together with a bunch of NPCs, like a little group, and you follow them, and you basically follow the campaign with them, and it transitions to a story about fighting gods, fighting an evil organization,
Okay.
and it just transitions into different things. And it's a great story.
Here's what I expect. I think this is true about WoW, and I think this is true like about most MMOs that aren't RuneScape.
Yeah.
Is one of the big, most fun aspects of Final Fantasy 14 getting together with a group and like fighting a boss together.
Yeah, raiding in dungeon. It's
Sure.
definitely fun.
Okay.
But the thing is, this game also promotes a lot of solo play, which is what I kind of like. You're not in the campaign first playthrough. You are essentially forced to play with around the group, because some of the campaign missions basically make you go through a dungeon. But it's also for you to get to know dungeons more, get to know the raids more. It's essentially like small tutorial dungeons you go through during your campaign, just to get used to future
Sure.
content. And so there's both pros and cons with it. Like you're forced to progress in the campaign. You're forced to do dungeons. You can do with friends. You can do it randomly by queuing, like a queue system. But yeah, it's I think it's good, but there's
Sure.
so much more than just.
No, I totally believe you. I mean, for it to be a successful MMO, it definitely has more. I believe you. I hear you loud and clear, man. And
know.
here's my answer. Yeah, I've totally thought about it, and it might happen someday. I say that a lot about different things, and then it takes a long time.
Yep.
But I do generally jump into different MMOs here and there.
That's what I'm saying. You're not afraid to test things. I've seen you. I know you for like 2 years now, more than 2 years, and I know you tend to test things out for a week or two, then completely abandon them.
That is
but
true.
But yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a fun game. It's free on Steam. So,
Cool. So free, good story, fun to raid and stuff, and it looks good too, right?
Yeah, it looks good. Really good amount of character customization. You have something called glamour. Basically, you have a really nice gear. Like, it looks really cool. Let's say you like the Bando's chestplate, but you hate the look of Bando's chestplate, and for some reason you want Rune Play Body. So you basically can make your Bando's chestplate look like a Rune Play Body, but keeping the stats of
You know
a
what?
Bando's chestplate.
RuneScape
So-
3 has that. Is this just RuneScape 3?
Well, Warcraft is probably the first one to introduce it, which was called transmogging.
Okay,
And,
okay.
and they call glamour in Final Fantasy, and it's just probably one of the main aspects of endgame. People like to collect things, make the characters look good. They also have housing and clanning in this game, so you can have a clan house. You
They
can
have the
decorate-
construction skill.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm just kidding.
essentially. It's the same like building scenario and aspect of Sims. Essentially, you can build like that, and you can have clan house and
I think I saw someone's house once on Twitter, actually. Okay, well, Mix, thanks for telling me about Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Probably will check it out at some point. And,
I have one last quick question.
okay, what's up?
Because or no because?
Wait, what'd you say? Oh!
Because. That's,
Okay, the answer is obviously because, but there's so many people here that have no idea what that is. Okay, if you know what Bacchus is, type it out in chat. But for everyone else who is here and who's not used to watching me and it's been a while, or, you know, they weren't here in the early founding days, check out r/WeSkillNow. There's some really old Bacchus memes. It was just a hand. I wouldn't even explain what it is. Okay, so Scotia's got a question. And Scotia wasn't able to be on mic here today. So, before I answer this one, let's edit our desk a little bit. I think we'll just leave the scimitar up. All right. So, Scotia's writing in today, and he asks this. I'm going to be turning my upper mid-level account into an alt while I play an iron. What kind of alt should I play? I have 85 attack, 92 strength, 85 defense, 93 range, and 88 mage. Thoughts on non-combat alts also? Okay. Well, thanks for this question. You know, I don't have an extreme amount of experience with alt accounts that were super profitable. A couple years back when Twitch offered a OSRS membership as a perk, I actually did end up making like a few different accounts to pull that perk, and my main alt account experience is Cannonball alt. So I've got a few accounts here that have like 75 smithing and pretty much no other stats. But that's my experience with alts. But you've got your main account. When I think about alts, there's always a goal in mind. And most people's alt goal is GP. For me, whenever I'm playing my main account as an alt, it's to do some AFK activity that's going to progress me towards my goal, which is definitely maxing at some point. So, I mean, if it were me, I would just throw my main account over in Motherlode Mine and just mine the whole time and get 99. That's what I would do. But you're asking about making an alt. So, I mean, how many alt accounts are there? There are some people that do Rune Dragons. I mean, nobody does Demonic Gorillas Mix. That's not an alt account. How much GP do you have to work with, and how AFK do you want the alt to be? Those are definitely a couple of metrics that I would want to know. Scotia asked this question so long ago that he might not be able to help us and answer those questions for us. But that's okay. Oh, wow. That finally just popped up. Ryan says hi. Is there another chat? You know, there is another chat, actually. Yeah, we're mainly conversing on Twitch over here. I'm so excited about what they will do in League 3. And do you know what Melver Idol is? Yes. Man, that guy asked that a while ago, too. My YouTube chat was frozen. I'm sorry about that, guys. All right. What alts are there? Honestly, yeah, my only alt experience is training my main in some AFK activity. Woodcutting, mining, fishing. You know, do something like that. Can you even do rune dragons? Personally, I don't even find rune dragons to be all that AFK. You need crazy gear for that. Yeah, you need to have 500 mil to work with already. You can do rune crafting or something, money and experience. Raids leech alt if you have connections. Raids alting is big money. Interesting perspective, DL. Thanks for sharing that information with me, because, yeah, I didn't know that. Apparently, you could be a raids leech and make a bunch of money as an alt. Do you even need any stats for that? Apparently, there are mole alts. I would hate to send anyone to do that. I don't generally like doing the giant mole in the first place. Skeletal Wyvern alt. Great thought there. Gargoyle alt. Brutal Black Dragon alt. Cool. Cool. Of those, I guess I would consider doing a Skeletal Wyvern alt. I had a decent... Oh no! I had a decent time at the end of Trailblazer where I was killing Skeletal Wyverns, and I was just thinking, man, these things are dropping a lot of resources. I don't remember what my main goal in fighting the Skeletal Wyverns was. I don't think it was smithing experience, but they dropped like a lot of bars or something. It might have been seeds. I don't really remember. But they dropped like tons of prayer potions and stuff. Personally, as I'm training in Iron Man, I want to focus even harder on it than having to like go to my other combat alt. I would probably die. Actually, I'm definitely not in alt form right now. It was not very long ago that I was... What was I doing? I remember I was editing, and then I 100% forgot that I was at Vampires, because I was training Slayer. And I went back to my screen, I was like, oh, this time I actually did log out. And I logged back in, and I logged back in Lumbridge. So, yeah. I've got nothing on alts. Fishing and cooking, woodcutting and mining help a lot for huge raids, but for smaller raids, it's all about fishing and cooking. Every 10 levels help. Maxing out at 90 fishing and cooking with 90 in both can get you to around 3 mil GP per hour if you have a good team. Interesting. Raids, scout, selling is best GP per hour though, but it ain't AFK, 0 stats required. Yeah, raids, scouts. Scout is what I had in mind when you first said that. All right. Okay, guys, I think that we've answered like 4 questions. I don't even count that last question as being answered. But, oh, Dio, you've got a question for me. Okay, Dio is on the show now. He asks me this question in the form of text. If there'd be any pet you'd go for at this point, which would it be? Would your mentality be the same and start with the hardest one, the Bloodhound? Or would that be too unobtainable in your question? Also, in terms of looks, would that affect your choice? Yeah, it definitely would affect my choice. I love that you know, you already brought up the concepts of like do you start at the bottom of the list where it's like, do the hardest thing first because it's the coolest, you know, get the Bloodhound right away and just, you know, just grind that out really hard. For me, all right, so this is me. I'm an extreme clue hater. I could not go for the Bloodhound at this point. I would need to do some significant clue conditioning to be able to even attempt the Bloodhound grind start, right? I've talked about my favorite pets in the past. All of the pets that I do have, I don't deserve. I currently have Vorky, so that can't be my answer because I already have him. I have Tangleroot. And I have a third pet, but I don't remember what it is. Does anyone remember what my third pet is? Do I have a third pet on this account? Or am I just thinking of the beaver? I literally don't remember if I have a third pet. Regardless, the two I can think of, Vorky and Tangleroot, look at my farming level. Oh, sorry, I won't show you on screen. I've got 81 farming. I've got Tangleroot. I have under 200 Vorky kills, and I have Vorky. I think I got him on, like, kill 50 or something. So, I don't deserve any of those. If I were to go for one of my favorite ones for sure is little Cerberus, the hell puppy. I think he looks awesome. So I'm pretty motivated to get him. You know, all it would be is I would need to grind a significant amount of Slayer. I only have level 86 Slayer at this point, so that would be quite a bit of work for me. But I would really like that pet. Another one, and this was pointed out to me a while ago, but the Chompy Bird pet, I would love. But really, I know that one's less of a pet hunt and more of a get the diaries done kind of challenge. But I think both of those I would be pretty motivated to get. I killed Cerberus for the first time in Trailblazer, and I understand that Cerberus in the main game and Cerberus in Trailblazer are two very different experiences. Because you better believe, every single time I saw him go, Aroo! I teleported straight out of there. And I never had to deal with any of the ghosts or flicking prayers correctly. And I was doing, you know, like way extra damage and healing really fast. It would be a much greater challenge than what I experienced already. And I know that. But I'm glad to have had that Trailblazer experience because I'm familiar with a lot more of the mechanics now. And I don't think that he would be too scary to deal with at this point. But yeah, I think Hell Puppy's my answer. I wouldn't... the reason that I went for runecrafting and agility, you know, the two least common skill capes, is because the plan is to someday get 99 everything. Currently, I don't have it as my plan to get all pets. So rather than doing the hardest one, my choice, my strategy at this point would be go for the coolest one that you think is unique and you actually want. And that's Hell Puppy at this point. All right, thanks for the question, Dio. If you're looking for more questions, I have two. First one is a bit of a softball question. Could you explain the Bach rules of National Pro Fast Pitch Softball? Kind of a softball question. No, I can't explain those. Sorry. Second, I'm stuck on the Ernest the Chicken quest. Do you know which order to pull the levers? No, I can't in the slightest. But if you watch my most recent VOD, I do that quest guideless. And I don't know if you were there or not, V4. I don't remember you in chat. But I pull my notepad up at one point, and it shows my path that I took. Yeah, you did totally see it. Your goal is to get half the pets. Cerberus is easy, especially with Spectral and Arclight or T-Bow. Yeah, I don't have any of those. Come on. Come on. All right, so my goal today was to answer 5 questions. I don't know if I did that. But thanks for the content, everyone. YouTube chat says, I predict that Leagues 3 is to be 1 chunk at a time. Dude, 1 chunk? That's what we all thought Trailblazer was going to be when they talked about, like, unlocking regions. But, like, it's definitely not going to be, like, hard mode 1 chunk at a time. Because there are different levels that you can do. Because the first chunk in the game contains a defense cape. And there's the dude, Limpwort, some YouTuber, who's doing the real 1 chunk at a time. And he spent, I don't know how many hours, never leaving the first chunk in the game, getting 99 defense so that he could get the defense cape because that counted as one of the pieces of content in the first chunk that he couldn't leave. We all thought 1 Chunk Man was crazy because he got 60 woodcutting to chop a yew tree. But there are levels to this game, baby. Brian, look at all the check marks. I did look at the check marks, and I appreciate... Oh, there are... different... There's one more question that I missed. Is that what I'm looking at? The question of, have you heard about the new vanilla client updates? I haven't at all. Someone fill me in. And welcome to the Discord, guys. Boys! There is opportunity for one more question, but it has to be a voice question in Discord. Thanks for the easy questions so far today, guys, and also, like, literally no trolls. Kind of amazing. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Like, you guys are giving me these subjective-based questions, and no one's asking me, like, stupid stuff that I really don't know. Or not necessarily stupid stuff, like legitimate stuff that people might wonder about, but are really hard. You guys have made this very easy. Last question of the day alert. Last question. If anyone even wants to. If there's no questions, that's okay. We'll be chill. So it was a troll question, but you didn't like go into voice chat and troll maliciously. You made a funny joke, is what you did. That was fun. Could you explain the mechanics of each Theater of Blood mini-boss and its difference in hard mode? Yeah, that's the kind of question that I couldn't answer. Should we just be a RuneScape streamer and get off of that screen? This is interesting. Okay, I want to see how close I am to getting a thieving level, because I didn't get one this entire time. 17k away from 85 thieving. I think I got like 100k experience during this. I was definitely inefficient. I failed to pickpocket him after he caught me often. I was always running to the stairs over and over again because I was like way more focused on my words. All right, chat. Oh, I just got something real good in my Discord. Something real good. A commission has come in, and it's you guys will see it at some point not that long from now. Ooh, this is good. I actually can't wait to see that. Shoot, are you attacking me? Good. Okay. How good can I do this? Wait, don't attack me.
Okay, okay. Thanks for subscribing, man.
Mallow.
Alright.
No message! No message! Thanks for your prime, man. I appreciate it. Right now, we are going to go for the world record in most successful blackjack pickpockets in a row. Tick perfect. Why does it feel off? In a row. Look at these clicks. This is the kind of music that you would do a slow zoom in on. All right, now I'm bored. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I've accomplished my goals on stream. I wanted to record a few segments for some more YouTube videos, and you guys allowed me to do that. So thanks so much for being here. And my goal is to go work on some more videos. Mello, you specifically DM'd me and asked me that if you could talk about editing YouTube videos at some point, and you haven't done it. And I know you haven't done it because I'm the other party in the situation. So make sure you do that sometime. In the meantime, everybody else, thanks for being here. This is the end of the stream. And I hope you guys have a great day. And if you're done with work, you guys can keep on relaxing and having a satisfying life. If you have more things to do and you're procrastinating, definitely try to, start. If it doesn't work, if you're like still distracted, just give it 5 minutes, but then let yourself fade out, take a 5-minute break, get back into it, and just see if you can just try to hit that flow state, be super productive. I personally, what's the next thing on my list? I am going to finalize a Grand Theft Auto video for Grand Pooh Bear. That's the very next thing on my list. I encourage you guys to make to-do lists. I loved it. What are you guys saying? One more thieving level after 85, and then you have all the levels you need to do the thieving achievement criterias. Are those achievement things out? Send me that. Send me that. Break work down into baby steps. You have to. I'm gonna change your wording. Break work down into action steps, because sometimes people have these grand concepts on their to-do lists, which are do project, and that's paralyzing. You need to do the next action step. Literally on your to-do list, write down sit down at chair. And when you do that, you'll naturally find the next action step that you actually work on. Single actions. Boom. Boom. Yeah, Phil and me are on the same page. Love it. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for letting me waste your time for a little bit. And yeah, I appreciate it a lot. I had a great time. Okay, guys. Have an awesome day. This is seriously it. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.